Good afternoon, everybody. No funny jokes today, no hockey puns. Just wanted to wish my Aunt Roxanne a basically good luck tomorrow. She's got her last chemo treatment. And since we've got lots of COVID restrictions in Ontario, her family can't be there with her as she rings the cancer bell for a second time, unfortunately. We are grateful that she's able to do it and that she got through her last chemo treatment. So, puck you, cancer, and love you, ma tante. Welcome to the pregame show, guys.
What's going on, everybody? Wow, I kind of got a little choked up for a second. I'm like, I don't even know this lady. Oh my gosh, that's really special, Nick. So cool that you would start the show that way. So all the best to Roxanne. That's really, really cool.
Thank you. I'm sure she'll appreciate that.
Yeah, from the Habs Tonight team, right over to you. We mean that with the fullest of hearts. So look forward to you guys watching. Even on video tomorrow. That'll be something special as well. I'm sure you'd rather be there, but
COVID.
Yeah. Right. So all the best to her, and we certainly send her well wishes, 100%. Like I said, so it's a privilege to be able to do that opening with you for a celebration like that. That's a big deal. So
thank you very much, you guys.
Well, let's talk about, I guess we're going to get into our final hockey game of the season, which sounds crazy. Like, I can't believe this. It's the final game of the regular season. It went by quick, to say the least.
We were just discussing this, how it feels that we played like a year and a half's worth of hockey in the past 2 weeks. Just insane how condensed it's been. I mean, Montreal is the team that's played the most games since March 30th in the North Division. So it blows my mind.
Yeah. I mean, the other night was big in terms of clinching the playoff spot, and it took a lot longer than we would have liked, but it's happening. And now it's official with the matchup. It doesn't really seem real yet, but the Canadiens are going to play the Leafs in the first round of the playoffs. First time since 1979. This is insane.
I don't even know how to describe how I feel about it. Part of me is excited, and part of me just hopes that, guys, step it up, do your thing. I mean, we're extreme underdogs in this series, so everything everywhere is pro Toronto. And as our dear friend Craig Button said, the Habs are not even going to win one game versus Toronto. So I just hope we prove some people wrong.
Not sure how much of a dear friend he is after that comment.
Oh, I know.
But you know what? I've respected Craig. Like, I talked to him on Twitter. Like, I sent him a quick message last year just saying, like, thanks for your coverage and, this and that. But after a comment like that, that just seems like, keep your eyes on TSN, and also the fact that Sportsnet is going to have the most eyes on them during the playoffs because they have the coverage, they have the rights. So it's almost like a way of just keeping TSN in the game, which, whatever, if that's how they got to do it, ruffle feathers, do your thing, man, whatever. The guys will be the one to decide in the end. So, but before we actually move forward into tonight's game, we want to mention to you guys that there's a great show happening tonight live with our very own Dale Weise and Brandon Legacy doing a playoff preview. It'll be kind of like a post-game / playoffs preview show. So that's what it's going to be tonight at 8:00 live on the Habs Tonight YouTube channel. You can chat with the guys. You can email in and come in and chat, give your playoff predictions, talk about the game tonight, what you liked, what you didn't like, but just, live at habstonight.com. You can send an email. They'll be sure to plug that for you guys later tonight. But we see Wednesday tonight live at 8:00 on the Habs Tonight YouTube channel. Going to be a fun show. We don't have a guest on today. It's just going to be strictly focused on tonight's game and the playoffs, and just kind of getting a kickstart to playoff season, which is where we are, my friend.
Brandon's our guest.
Brandon Legacy, the host, right? The host of Crushing Cans himself. Brando coming on
in the flesh.
In the flesh. So Friday, Crushing Cans is not completely confirmed yet, but they're probable Brandon and Derek for Crushing Cans on Friday. So
if not Saturday.
Yeah. Shout out again to Torque, sponsor coming on to sponsor the show. Absolutely fantastic. Torque Brewery in Winnipeg. So they came on last week for Crushing Cans, which was really fun to have them on. The boys even did a visit, I think, to the brewery in person, which is a crazy concept. But the Weise brothers are, of course, closer proximity to be able to do that. So that's really exciting. So, all right, so let's get into tonight's game. We do have one more hockey game before this season wraps up, Annik. So Jake Allen winning the the Jacques Beauchamp Award for basically, it's not like, is it kind of like an unsung hero trophy, if you will? Dale actually won it in 2015. So he's going to try to talk about that maybe a little bit too.
Tonight, yeah. No, it's kind of like, I guess the guy who's been showing up all season, but not taking advantage of showing off about it, if we want to put it that way. So, I mean, congratulations to Jake Allen. He has been, like you said, the unsung hero this season, not only between the pipes, but even for stuff that he's done off the ice. We didn't even hear about it. I saw today that he messaged a little girl on Zoom and had a video conversation with her on like just one day. Nobody knew about that. Wasn't released to the media. Just little things like that players get involved with in the community that I find is absolutely amazing. So I think it's well deserved.
It absolutely is, and he's got a good role model and teammate in Carey Price, who is known for doing so many great things in the community, especially with kids and stuff. And there's actually a great quote that was here from Jake Allen today in his media press conference, just saying how whether he was healthy or not, and referring to Carey, his goal was to support him. And Jake Allen, my gosh, played more games than Carey Price this season and helped the Canadiens clinch a playoff spot. So it's just another reassurance that this was such a good move by the Canadiens bringing Jake Allen in.
100%. And which brings me to the next point of my concern for the expansion. Is this a guy that we're going to have to expose, or are we willing to maybe give up a first round or something to protect him? Because yes, we have Caden Primo as a backup, but as we've discussed previously, he's the type of goalie right now that would benefit from an extra year in Laval. So I think it's worth protecting Jake Allen right now. You never know, even with Carey Price. Like, I don't wish any more injuries on the guy. That's for sure. He's our number one starter for a reason. But mind you, if anything were to happen, we would have Jake as a solid backup that we can trust.
Yeah, I mean, Jake can be a starter too. That's the difference, right? I mean, I feel like in playoff runs in the past, someone's had to come in and whether it's Tokarski or Budaj or guys who were good goalies, it's a lot of weight to carry on your shoulder, and Allen's carried that weight throughout almost all this season, with Carey being down with injury and struggling at times. And I think that Jake has just really proved that he's got at least he's got a good future right now, and we can't let him go for nothing. That's for darn sure. That's where I'm going to leave that for sure.
100% agree.
Dom Ducharme is going to rest some banged up players tonight, and Josh Anderson is likely one of those players. By the sounds of it, he had a therapy day today, and I think even maybe yesterday as well. So, but we got some good news about some players that are skating in Nick. Speaking of Carey Price, but we'll talk about Shea Weber first and how he skated 38 minutes, no shots, but definitely encouraging to see the guys back on the ice making progress.
Definitely. We also had Phil Deneau, who skated for about 45 minutes, which is great if he's having concussion symptoms and he's able to be on the ice for a significant amount of time. Hopefully he will be good to go when it comes to next week. I believe Wednesday is the confirmed date for the start of the first round on the 19th. And then the best news is Carey Price, who skated for 42 minutes, full gear, received shots, and looked like Carey. So that's... Oh, sorry. One more.
Thank you.
Gallagher.
Oh, that guy. Oh, Gallagher.
That guy, yeah.
Can't forget about him.
The little, 5-foot pest, The heart and soul of this team. He skated for about 42 minutes, full gear, full shots, you name it. Gallagher is back smiling on the ice, which sure warms my heart.
Warms everybody's heart that cheers for the Bleu Blanc Rouge. That's for darn sure. Yeah. But that's just another thing. Even with all the doubts about all these guys coming back and how we're going to match up against the Leafs, Phil Deneau, I mean, even if he just plays straight on defense and he doesn't shoot a single puck all playoffs, but he's able to stop Austin Matthews or John Tavares, all the power to you. I could care less. I think Deneau and Suzuki, I feel like, are going to maybe take on those most likely take on those matchups in terms of those two guys. But another piece of news, wherever we want to go. Yeah, Xavier Ouellet and Jesse Ylonen going to be available tonight. I think fans will get the first chance to see Ylonen tonight, which he's been playing really well with the Rockets.
I think it's well earned. Well earned for him to get a shot to play one game, get the bug for it, want it even more. And I don't know, maybe get a spot on the lineup next year. I don't know where, but I guess anything can happen on that side too.
Yeah, and also we also saw that Raphael Harvey-Pinard signed an entry-level deal today with the Canadiens. I watched some of his highlights, and he's I don't know if he's a power forward, but he's got some skill. Like, he's got some good hands, and almost reminded me of Pacioretty a little bit. Like, I not a big lofty comparison, but just the hands, the scoring touch a little bit.
Sniper like him.
Yeah, so I mean, we don't know fully what his ceiling is. It's really early for that, but I did kind of like that he was really involved in a lot of the footage I saw in the plays that he was making with the players he was playing with, and I hope that it turns out really well for him, and he certainly earned his contract with the Canadiens this season.
Which kind of brings us to, I guess, a little tease that we're going to give you guys is discussion that needs to happen in a French-born player on the team now, since we had none last game, and that was apparently the end of the world.
Yeah.
As a matter of fact, we still managed to clinch a playoff spot and get 1 point out of it. But I mean, what do I know? No, this is going to be definitely a show that we're going to have for you guys sooner than later. Is going to be the discussion of, does it really matter to have a French-speaking coach, GM, or any sort of training staff for the players? And does it matter if we have a Quebec-born French player on the team? Is it going to help the team in the long run? I mean, for me, it's the story of, does he have talent? Yes or no? No? Well, it is what it is. I don't give a crap what you talk, what you look like, what you do. Just play hockey. You know, if he's French and he can play hockey, more power to you. If he's not, well, it is what it is, you know? So I think it's going to be a great discussion that we're going to have, seeing as we do have some French people on the team. And we got Shane and Steffi too that are in Quebec. So it's going to be good to get some guests as well, get you guys' opinion on it, and hopefully Dale's as well.
Yeah, we're going to probably do some kind of a roundtable with especially with the three of you guys that are from the French community also. Like, that's extremely important. And should it be a prerequisite to being a Montreal Canadien, or, you know, for the franchise? Like, do they have to have that? I understand it completely, but we'll get into that much deeper on that episode before we really have a discussion about it, because I think at the end of the day, what's going to happen is you're going to see potentially a majority for the team winning, and however that comes about, and whoever's on the team. Yeah. So that's just my opinion. I'm from Quebec as well. Like, I'm a Quebec-born guy, raised in Ontario, but I mean, that is still a part of my heritage, and I'm proud of that. You know, that's part of why Montreal is a home away from home for me. When I go back there, all my family's still there. So we'll definitely touch on that. That's going to be a really, really good show, I think, for the fans, for everybody to get involved in that one.
And I think, as well as, we don't know what's going to happen with the head coach situation in Montreal either, right? Is Dominique Ducharme going to be staying, or is he going to be replaced? It was never made clear by Marc Bergevin what's going to happen with the coaching situation. So it's going to be great to get into it for that. You know, like a lot of the fan base is saying, you know, Gérard Galland would be a great coach to have back in Montreal, but doesn't really speak French. Should it matter? Should it not? Do we want a coach that's going to make us win, or do we want to stick with recycling coaches like we've been doing? You know, so a bigger conversation ahead, that's for sure. We're going to have a great show for you guys on that. But for the time being, yes, Harvey-Pinard did sign an entry-level contract. That's the huge side note on it. So congratulations to him for signing that, for sure.
Yeah, see, this is what happens with Montreal media. We get caught up in all the drama. So that's how it goes.
That's what happens with you and I, though. We just, you know, pew.
Yeah, we certainly know how to sidetrack and talk about what's on our minds, right? So we appreciate you guys listening in on that, and that's why we want you to be involved in the discussion. That's the whole point of the show. One more point about tonight's game too is that Jesperi Kotkaniemi, all eyes will kind of be on him tonight. I don't want to say all eyes, but there will be eyes from the Canadiens, most on KK, because he's had a tough go the last part of the season here. He ignored the questions in the media scrum yesterday. I shouldn't say scrum, because there are no scrums in COVID right now. It's all Zoom, but. Yeah. I mean, he handled himself really well. He focused on one thing, and that was they made the playoffs, and he's pumped and excited. It's a fresh start for him. He needs it. A lot of guys maybe need it, And that's not just on the Canadiens. Like, it's a fresh start for everybody that makes the playoffs.
Yep.
So KK really doing a good job of not focusing on himself. And that's a quality of a leader that you're looking for. And he's a young guy, still 20 years old. Like, my gosh, the kid's 20. And we saw what he did in the bubble last year. So I think that whatever comes of tonight's game, I'm still not going to be that concerned about how he's going to perform in the playoffs until he plays in the playoffs. That's how I'm looking at that.
Exactly. Like you said, in the bubble last year, he was a complete different player. Mind you, he was playing on the second line or the first, or he was getting more minutes. And that's what I've been saying for the longest of times is he's playing on the third or fourth line, on the wing, center, and sometimes less than 7 or 8 minutes a game. So how do you develop a kid from such a young age to become, example again, Brady Tkachuk, where he's playing top minutes, top line, and he's getting the opportunity. So I'm excited to see if he's going to get a bump in the playoffs, how it's going to be. I'm not worried about the kid. Like you said, 20 years old. Relax, guys. Just give him time. No need to panic in my end.
I just don't think that this season was a good measuring stick for some guys. I really don't. Like, this season was so unique, so different. I don't think we'll ever understand as fans what it was like to go through that. I can't wait to interview guys at some point and just ask them, what was it like to play in a shorter amount of time with that many games, especially for like NHL veterans like Shea Weber, guys that are just like, like used to a way more spread out schedule. And that'll be an interesting conversation as well. It's just like this season is not a great measuring stick for a lot of things, in my opinion, because it's a season that's never happened before, and hopefully it won't happen again.
Exactly. It's hard to understand. Even Dale said it, the fatigue of playing back-to-backs, traveling back and forth, barely getting 1 day's rest, 2 days in a row. It's just been a shit show. Let's not sugarcoat it. That's what it's been. So excited to see what he's going to do. Again, yes, the eyes are going to be on him tonight for the final game, but I don't see that as a bad thing. I mean, he seems like the type of player where this is just going to motivate him to try and be better. And it's not for the lack of trying, because he's been trying so many things and it's just not going for him. You've seen him he's talked to Caulfield, he's talked to Charrett, he's talked to how many different leaders on the team who flat out told him, go back to basics. Corey Perry, go back to basics, find your game, relax. And that's what he's going to need to do. And that's what's going to work for him.
Yeah, and you mentioned minutes. I mean, he's going to get a lot of minutes tonight. So that's a reason that we're going to keep an eye on too, is because they're going to see a lot of them. So in that sense, it's an opportunity for him to shine, do his thing, and just calm the waters, relax. I'm still a good player, and that's that. That's where we're going to leave it.
Exactly. But before we do leave you guys, time for some predictions. Drew?
Yes. Can you picture a KK hat trick tonight? Just like ridiculous, like just stuff it in the Montreal media's face.
Hot take.
Yeah. Should I go with that? No, you know what? What the heck? I don't know. I don't know. It's like I did say it out loud, but I don't really care about that, to be honest. I don't need KK to get a hat trick, but now that you're putting it up there, yeah. I don't know, man. I want to, you know what? Like Paulie Byron the other night, I'm going to say that KK factors into this game. Whether it's a goal, an assist, he's going to have an impact on this game. I can almost guarantee you he will tonight. Okay.
And final score? I like putting you on the spot.
3-2, Montreal.
Overtime?
It's 3-2. I was also regulation. And then, of course, like what happened last time, we went to overtime and then Caulfield scored. So, but that's fine.
Are you going to be at work tonight? That's the question.
I will go to work. No, tonight's not a game where I think I have to go to work. But I might be at work.
You will have to book a room and just stay at work all the time. I will apologize to your wife for you just at work. Actually, bring her with you.
Right? Yeah, I know. We have pet-friendly rooms at our work too. So
there you go. Bring Sherman.
Yeah, exactly. So we'll see.
I'm gonna go 4-2 Montreal. I'm not gonna mention KK because every time I mention him, it doesn't happen. So
no, that was KK me. That was me.
KK does nothing tonight. He does nothing tonight. Absolutely nothing. Yes. Charrett gold tonight.
Yes, I would like to see that. Take. Yep. He had like 8 goals.
He's been playing well lately. He's been playing well lately.
Season. Yeah, but I mean, like I remember offensively, he comes in and he's sneaky. Like he likes to get in. Like it's the most. I play defense in ball hockey, and like being an offensive defenseman is one of the most fun positions to play in hockey. Like you can have an impact in the game in so many ways. So I love the way Sherratt does that.
And my hot take of the game is going to be Toffoli scoring his 30th of the season.
Oh, yes, top.
Book it.
You know what? You say it, actually. You say it, so it's not me. If it comes from a lady, like I'm not gonna argue with it. I don't know, but it is what it is.
It is what it is.
Just if you don't follow us on Twitter, you know what we're referring to. But anyway, so hope we can end the season on a strong note. And yeah, guys, follow us on Twitter, social media, Instagram, Facebook. We're getting more active on Facebook as well, building up our page. And Twitch, of course, is something we're not really familiar with that much right now, but we're going to get into it at some point, possibly looking into next season. But lots of stuff to follow us on. Subscribe to the channel, like the videos. We really appreciate the support as always, and it's a blast. This was really fun doing all these pre-games with you this season, my friend. And now we shift into more high energy, intense pre-games, hopefully for playoffs, right?
Can't wait. Can't wait. We're gonna up our dad jokes for you guys. It's gonna be a killer show. We're gonna be pumped. You might even get Drew doing a pregame in his car, tooting the horn if we win. Like anything can happen. Yeah,
there's gonna be some fun stuff. I haven't even told you guys about some of the stuff I have planned for playoffs, and it's gonna be good. So
I don't even know. So brace yourselves.
Yep, it's coming. You'll see. So,
guys, don't forget as well, the game is at 5 today. It's an early one. And at 8 p.m., we have Weisy Wednesdays. Dale is going to be on with our special guest from Crushin Cans, Brendan Legacy. You might know him. He's a pretty cool guy. He's the guy with the stash.
He shaved it.
Oh, okay. Well, he's the guy with no more stash.
Yeah.
And they're going to be talking. He's going to be doing a playoff preview show with Dale. They're going to be basically inviting you guys to go on the show. So send them an email at live@habstonight.com and we'll try to get you guys on. They'll be talking projected lineups and what to expect versus the Leafs, which is confirmed for the first round next Wednesday. So on that note, go Habs go. Have a great night. And Drew, we will talk to you later.
See you soon, y'all.